Since 2017, the Italian Wine Podcast has exploded, recently hitting 6 million listens. Support us by buying a copy of Italian Wine Unplugged 2.0 or making a small donation. In return, we'll give you the chance to nominate a guest and even win lunch with Stevie Kim and Professor Attilio Scienza. Find out more at italianwinepodcast.com. Chin chin!
Welcome to this special Italian Wine Podcast broadcast. This episode is a recording off Clubhouse, the popular drop-in audio chat. This Clubhouse session was taken from the Wine Business Club and Italian Wine Club. Listen in as wine lovers and experts alike engage in some great conversation on a range of topics in wine. If you enjoy listening, please consider donating through italianwinepodcast.com. Any amount helps cover equipment, production, and publication costs. And remember to subscribe and rate our show wherever you tune in.
Welcome everybody to Clubhouse Ambassadors Corner. So for today, we have Fanny Breuil, and then now she will be introducing Paola Mustilli. So Fanny, how many Clubhouse have you done so far?
I think, I think this will be my third or fourth time. It's always a pleasure to do it. Also for the exercise of making some research on the domain before. But I think it's 3 or 4 now.
Yeah, it's also a pleasure for us to have you as our moderator, and it's really enjoyable to have you with us. So thank you so much for, this is another episode. So thank you. So for those who are now in the room, hello everyone. Okay, we have Rebecca, Andre, Paul, Angelo, and Elena. And we also have Renato, our new guest. So this is our Clubhouse Ambassadors Corner. We've been doing it, I think, for 2 years now. And we are really consistently doing this because we enjoy having our ambassadors have their conversations with their favorite Italian wine producers. And so today we have Fanny and Paola. Fanny here is our VIA ambassador since... When
2021?
2021. Yes, it was here in Verona, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so she's also working in Genuine Wines together with Ellen Jacobsmeyer. You told me that you recently had your harvest. How is that?
Well, it has been a complicated vintage, a little everywhere. In Italy, the same too. But in the end, we will be able to do good wine. Its quantity will be little quantity. It will be a year, we call it a year of winegrowers. It's not something easy, but yes, we were challenging vineyard.
Yeah, for sure.
All along the vintage. In spring, lots of rain or not enough rainfalls. It's or too much or not enough.
Yeah, I can imagine because it's been quite difficult also. I guess you and Paola will be talking about it later as well for her experience in this harvest for this year. Before I ask you some questions, I'll be introducing you. So Fanny, she's from Angers in Loire and have always been into wine. She studied agronomy, engineering, and enology. She worked as a winemaker in France, Italy, and Chile, and then as a salesperson for a wine importer in the USA. In 2008, she founded her company, Genuine Wines, with a deep willingness to help wine growers located in lesser-known or underappreciated wine regions, but that had great potential. She started with Jura and Emilia Romagna. Since then, she has been helping them with their export markets as part of each team. So these are French and Italian domains. Aside from that, from her main activities within export, she also has a small Italian importing venture in France. She also works in Labadens wine project. She makes wines along with Thomas Oui, a fellow wine lover. So yes, I hope I pronounce all the French words correctly. It's really a challenge for me, but I hope so.
No worries. It has been perfect. Thank you for this presentation.
Thank you. So let me ask you first, why did you select Paola Mustilli for this show today as your favorite wine producer?
It's really the discovery I have made when we did the Gita Scolastica in Campania last year. I have been totally thrilled by everything. First, you arrive in this village, Sant'Agata dei Goti, on top of a cliff, and then you arrive to the domain itself, the Mustilli domain. It's all about history. They have a beautiful antique salon that still was in use until the early 2000s. They were daring to bottle wines from Falangina that was not known to be an important grape variety, so a pioneer family, and also the style of the wines. We tasted still sparkling. We have been welcomed like royalty in this inner courtyard with local products. I was charmed by everything, and it's also our goal to all of us talking about local grapes, autochthonous grape, and I think Mustilli is really doing a great job for this.
That's really beautiful. And also, it's really nice to also have these Gita Scholasticas within the VIA community, because that you will also discover new producers and also discover what they have. It's like, discovering hidden gems in Italy. So that's really nice. So tell us, what are the learning objectives that we should be expecting from this interview?
I hope this interview will be timeless. I think, so we will be listening to the story of this estate, which has managed to showcase a local grape variety and flag the flag for being different. But I also see this interview as an encouragement for all the young estates that are just starting out, or importers or distributors who are facing with the same challenges. How to help a wine, a grape variety, or an estate to be recognized. We are going to listen to Paola Mustilli tell us about the road traveled by her family, pioneers at a time when it was rare to take a deviation off the well-trodden path, and about the steps it took to re-up the rewards of its work over time. There are still same obstacles today. When you are young, unknown estate, wanting to sell your wine, or when you are a wine professional, wanting to promote unknown estates. And I think the history repeats itself, and we can learn from the past. Even if the times were different, tenacity and patience are terms that still apply today. And the story of the Mustilli estate shows us that in the end, it's okay to take the time to explain the wine, to make it known, and to be different from everyone else.
That's beautifully explained. Thank you so much for that. And now I really look forward for the interview later. Tell us, how did you discover the wines of Mustilli Winery?
I have to admit it was really during the same travel we did in Gita Scholastica. We had, they opened really lots of wines to show us the different expression of each grapes, Falangina, but also Piedi Rosso, Aglianico. So I really discovered the wine there. And then I was able to, luckily, buy some. But it's not easy in France. But yes, I was able to continue drink the wines.
Okay, so right now I'm going to mute myself and I'll give you the floor, okay? Bye.
Okay.
Bye for now.
Merci, Laika. Buongiorno, everyone. I will be introducing you Paola Mustilli. I have a short biography, and then I will be running this interview to try to give as much as possible element to understand this estate and this really rich history. So Paola, she's the eldest of 3 children. She was born in Naples in 1962. She grew up in the countryside and helped run the family business, producing fruit, tomatoes, and wine. After graduating in agrarian studies with a technical economic focus, Paola has worked for a year in Roma for a company that dealt with research in agriculture. In particular, she was followed the various phases of development of the National Vineyard Register by carrying out monitoring in various regions of Italy, surveying existing vineyards, verifying their accuracy by aerial survey of the territory. In year 1991, it has been really a turning point for her because she met Buddhism, which she still practices today. And she decided to return to her family to take care of the business with her parents. In 1996, she married a musician who is still her life partner and with whom she has 4 children and a boy and 3 girls. Until 2018, in addition to wine production, the Mustilli domain also have a restaurant and hospitality business in an historical building from the late 17th century. Just few words on the domain too. The first vines planted by someone from Mustilli family, was back in 1700, but the family estate has been created in 1960 by Paola's father, Leonardo Mustilli. He really rediscovered the local indigenous grape variety, including Falangina, and today the domain spreads over 15 hectares. Buongiorno, Paola.
Yes, buongiorno.
Do you agree with this presentation?
I'm so excited for your presentation, Fanny. I call you Fanny. And this is a big responsibility for me because you used such important words to describe my family and our business. So I don't know if I can be right for this job you gave me. So, well.
Super. So I'm also very honored to spend this hour with you and listen to you tell us about your work over generations. Thank you so much. So your estate is located in Campania, very well known for Falangina grapes today. Your winery has a long history with this grape. Even the name of your estate is linked to Falangina grape, as you were the first to bottle a wine made of Falangina. So my first question to start, how did this idea of making a wine from this particular grape come about? Was it a desire for a new challenge or a firm belief from Leonardo of the potential of this grape?
So the first difficult question. Do you have one year of your time to listen all my answer? Because I have to go back in the times. When my father, Leonardo, decided to run the winery, he made a research in this area because the vines that he had were with not native varieties, but with international varieties. All the south of Italy, especially Campania, especially Sannio, because we are in a part of Campania called Sannio, which is the most important area for wine production in Campania. We have more than 10,000 hectares of vineyard here. So the tradition of the farmers, the wine farmers, was to sell wine in bulk, not bottled wines, but mainly international varieties such as Merlot, Cabernet, varieties that were easily sold on the market to blend the wines from the north of Italy and the north of Europe. So the majority of the wine growers were focused on international varieties, and the local varieties were unknown because there was not the market didn't demand for these wines, but they were not lost because the local farmers used to grow these local varieties and made the wine for themselves. So when my father decided to live in the country because the family used to live in Naples, they go back to the roots of the family, and because he was an engineer, hydraulic engineer, he decided not in the 1960s from the south people went to the north working in the fabric in the cities. He made the opposite direction. He decided to go back to the roots, and he was focused on the typical products. So he made a research with other producers, and they were searching in the vineyards of the Sannio area for local grapes. They found 18 different vine grapes. They harvested them, made the macro vinification of these, and among these there was one called Falangina that they thought was very interesting. So he started the production of this wine in 1979. and they made just 3,000 bottles. So to resume your question, yes, there was a desire of a new challenge, but was a desire that was the community need to change the production of the area. And of course, after this discover, the path was very hard because there was no recognition of Campanian wines in that period. I mean, even in the restaurants in Campania, people used to drink wines from the north. Wines from Friuli, wines from Veneto, wines from Piemonte. There was no recognition of the production made in Campania, of the wines from Campania. So this was very hard for all the winemakers that started this challenge in 1970s.
Well, first, bravo, because it's really the word pioneer means a lot here when I'm listening to you explaining what was the situation before. Just to understand, at that time, was Falangina known, so not to the public, but was it known to the local? I mean, for the everyday consumption, the workers, or was it unknown?
There is, and it's called Bonea, where Falangina was grown. And the production was very small and was sold, all the production was sold to blend the wines from Castelli Romani, which is near Rome, because Falangina has a good acidity, freshness that improved the wines from that area. So the Falangina was known, but was not valorized. Nobody believed in this kind of wine.
So, how does a pioneering winery go about introducing an undiscovered grape variety to the public? The different steps, from where do you start?
My father started with the production in 1979 with 3,000 bottles of Falangina, and he was the first. So it was very, very natural because in that times there were sommeliers that started to grow and to organize themselves. There was an association of enologists. My father started just selling wines to friends. Friends went to the restaurants, asked for Mustilli. Nobody knew Mustilli. They called us and asked for this wine that was discovered. Was Falangina, was the first new wine from Campania. Of course, there were already Fiano and Greco di Tufo produced in Campania. But Falangina has 2 points, very the strength point. One is the versatility. Is a fresh, light, fresh white wine. In Campania, the majority of the people drink white wine because it is a good pairing with the food, Campanian food. So for this characteristic was immediately appreciated by the market. Even restaurants called us to buy the Falangina wines. After they tasted Falangina, they believed in this wine. They started to invest in this wine. So this was very, very naturally introduction in the market of Falangina. After this, other winemakers understood the importance of Falangina and started to plant Falangina grapes, Falangina vines.
So, from which surface did you start at the beginning? How many hectares did you have to start? Of Falangina, I mean.
Yes, I started just with 1 hectare. I want to describe a Falangina because there are 2 different Falangina called Falangina both. One is grown among the coast from Caserta, Naples coast, and is called the Campi Flegrei Falangina. The other one is called the Beneventana, Falangina Beneventana, grown in Benevento area. These 2 Falangina are totally different, genetically different, but they have the same name. Maybe the origin of the name is because when the plants were supported to a pole, so this is the reason of the name. The supporter of the plant is called falanga, which means pole. This is the ancient name for Falangina.
So in the past, you also pioneered an organization. I'm thinking of the VIDE group, Vini d'Eccellenze, of which Fattoria Salvapiana, Stoppa were also members. This organization brought together producers who were all convinced of the importance of the quality of their wine and of the close link between the wine produced and the terroir, the territory from which it was coming from. They also share in common a focus on indigenous grape. Was belonging to a group a strength to help get recognition for your wines in the region?
I think that belonging to a group, it's always a strength. And our first association was growing in Vide. That was an association to promote the wine of the most important winery in Italy. Then when this association closed, of course, we're going together to the exhibitions. We made the promotion together. So the most important thing for me in that period was to have an exchange with the other producers, because especially in that times, in 1990, there were very, very few women working in the wineries. So joining the association, I had the opportunity to exchange my thought, my experiences with other people from other parts of Italy, and also with other women, which was very, very important for my growing. So I entered also in Le Donne del Vino. That was an association of women of the wine, was born in 1990. And that was very important too. And now that Vida is not alive anymore, was closed, I belong to another association that is called FIBI, Association of Independent Wine Growers, that does a good job for the small artisanal producers in Italy. And this association is also joined with other associations like this in the other part of Europe, France, Spain, Bulgaria, other countries, other European countries. And we have a person that is connected with the European community and also Italian government. And this person makes the interests of the small wineries, because we are a small artisanal winery. And the business, the wine business, is mainly monopolized by the industry. So we need a voice, a common voice, unique voice that makes the interest of the small wineries.
I understand. Thank you. Back to the grapes. Piedirosso is also little known grape variety. Could it follow the same path as Falangina in your area?
No, absolutely not, because Piedirosso, which is one of the most important red wine from Campania, is a very wild wine. The production is so low that it's inconvenient for the farmers to grow Piedirosso. So this is the first reason why the Piedirosso will not have a future, unless the quality of the wine will be recognized well on the market, and so the wine growers could get money from the production. But at the moment, the small production is not a good reason for planting a Piedirosso. So I don't think, unfortunately.
And can you tell us more about your terroir? What's the type? What's the soil? What's your climate in your region?
Wine to Wine Business Forum. Everything you need to get ahead in the world of wine. Supersize your business network. Share business ideas with the biggest voices in the industry. Join us in Verona on November 13 to 14, 2023. Tickets available now at winetowine.net.
Yes, Campania is quite rich of different climate and terroir. First of all, the most important soil is volcanic, because we have an important site that is called Campi Flegrei, which means fireplace, because 40,000 years ago, in that area, which is north of Naples, there were more than 40 volcanoes. And still now, there is an earthquake almost every day. The ground is shaking. There are many cracks there. And 30,000 years ago, there was a big eruption, and the magma covered 3/4 of the Campania region, included Sant'Agata dei Goti, where we are, included Irpinia. The main soil underground, the main rock below the soil, is volcanic in Campania region. Then we have also limestone. The climate is Mediterranean, of course, among the coast, fresh inside, because we have also the Appennini in the middle of the region, that are the Appennini are along the mountains that are along all Italy, in the middle of Italy. So we have fresh climate inside, inland, and a Mediterranean and hot climate along the coast. We are in the middle, because we are under a mountain that is called Taburno. This mountain, we are on the hill around Taburno, direction Caserta, Naples. So we are a border of a climate changing, because there is the fresh air coming from Taburno mountain and warm air coming from Naples. We are just in the middle.
Thank you, Paola. I have a question from Paul, who is also listening to us and who also enjoyed very much the visit he did in your winery. He has written a very nice message saying, I am encouraging everyone to discover them. So his question is, it's more about the character of Falanghina and the aging. Does the wine benefit from midterm aging? And if so, is there a guideline for optimal drinking? Or is it best as a new release where freshness is highlighted?
We have bottles of Falanghina 1996. We tasted and still good. And also 2002. These are the two vintages, very, very impressive. Even if this wine were made for the fresh consumption, we saved them, and after many years, we tasted very good flavor. So I think that Falanghina can age well. There are other producers who are focusing on the aging Falanghina. Of course, it's a challenge, but I think you could appreciate both aged one or fresh one.
And you personally at the domain, I guess you have a private salon. Do you make some try? Do you keep some bottle gaining some age? And what's the oldest Falanghina you have drinking? And how does it taste?
We have Falanghina in Greco from 1976 Greco, 1979 Falanghina. 1979 is just a small production. Now we have just 3 bottles of this, so we are not going to open it. But 1996 is very, very good. And of course, when you taste a wine that is so old, the varietal perfume is not present anymore. And you can taste the profumi terziari, which means hydrocarburi. Do you understand this word? Perfumes, petrol, yes, for example, petrol, yeah. So not anymore fresh, fruity and flowers perfumes.
And the acidity, does it smoothen the acidity? I guess it's fresh and vibrant when young, and then maybe rounder. Well, not so fresh.
There is still acidity. The wine is still fresh. It didn't lose the acidity. The reason why the wine can age so well.
The spine of the wine. Thank you. So what are the other grape variety planted in your estate?
We have Greco, of course. It was the first vine that my father planted. And then we have two red, Piedirosso, the one we talked before, and Aglianico.
And are they all very well adapted to? Well, we are also talking about the climate change, especially the last years. Are they all well adapted to the change, the climate change, or some more adapted than others?
I don't want to be pessimistic, but I have to, because the changing of the climate, we cannot subvalue. I mean, there is this year, especially this year, there were many diseases in the fields, in the vines, and also through stress. We were very lucky because we didn't have any fungal disease. Because my sister is very, very careful. She goes every day in the vineyard, checking the sanity of the grapes, of the vines. And but we had draw stress, and at the end we had also the visit of the wild boars. So they started to eat the grapes, and we had the small production for this reason, which is a problem for all the producers. Also, the draw stress because we don't irrigate the vines. It's a big problem for the climate. The climate is so hot even now. It's 30 degrees, and we are in October. We already finished harvest. When I remember when my father started the harvest in 1980s, he started middle of October. Now, this year we started end of August.
Yes. So more back to another type of question, another topic. When I visited the estate, I was really struck by the journey back in time, especially with the visit in this historic cellar, more than 10 meters below ground. It was fantastic. We could also see the traces of time on your wine labels, because you combine old-fashioned like those in Renaissance portraits with cheerful colors. What's the connection with this period of time, the Renaissance?
So you hit the point, Fanny. You are a very sensitive person, and yes, we have very deep roots. Our family is an old family, and we have portrait of our ancestors in our house. We decided to use their face for the label of our selection wines. The connection with the past is very strong in my family, and this is one of the reasons I decided to come back in 1990s to work in my family business. I think that I can express myself living, trying to make real the past through the history that I tell when people come for tasting. I think the most important thing is not only taste the wine and the quality of the wine, but is also make a connection with people. And I am so proud of the history of my place, the village where I live, the sanity, the population that used to live here in the past. That I enjoy to tell people a piece of history, because history is our future also. And we have a responsibility to tell to the next generation all the steps, all the difficulties and all the hard work that people before us made to let us enjoy what we have now. I don't know if I was clear in explanation.
No, but I really like when you say the past and the future are linked, and the additional cheerful colors on the old paintings. It's exactly this. No, I like it very much. It's a hint of modernity, but still on the strong basis of the past, the culture. And so what's the name of the wines? Artus, Cesso di Nasce, or Regina Sofia, Regina Isabella? Who are they?
Vigna Segreta, it's a fantasy name for describing a falangina that was selected by my sister, and this is just a small production made on 1 hectare. She selected the best vines and crafted on 1 hectare. So Vigna Segreta, it's the name of this falangina. Represented by my ancestor, that is Paola Mustilli, and we put on the label on her face, because she belongs to 16th century. We to modernize her, we made a butterfly on her face, a mask that has a shape of a butterfly, that reminds us, Annie Lennox, of the Eurythmics, because we love music. Of my period. I am a boomer for my children. I was born in 1960s, so they define me boomer. And the Artus is the name of a medieval lord of Sant'Agata, Conte Artus. So this is the origin of the name for Piedirosso, a special Piedirosso that is aged and fermented in amphora. And Cesco di Nescia is the name of the hill where we have the vines, the vineyard. So this is the reason the name. For Regina Sofia and Regina Isabella, Regina Sofia is a tribute to the last queen of the Neapolitan kingdom, Regina Sofia di Borbone, wife of Francesco di Borbone. And was also one of our wine made by my father in 1980s using Aglianico grape. He made a white wine with the red grapes called Regina Sofia. So when we didn't produce this wine anymore, we kept the name because we liked the name, and then we used this name for the pet nut. Rosé pet nut wine from Aglianico grapes. The Regina Isabella is another queen of the king of Bourbon called Francesco I, that was king of Naples and Sicily in 1825. So we used these historical names, always because we like a connection with the past.
Yeah, c'est génial. J'adore. I like it very much. So, since you like the past, but also the past is linked to the future, is there a new generation ready to take over when it will be the time for the Mustilli family?
From the Mustilli family, I have 4 children. So we hope the future will follow the past, and they are very helpful because they help us in a vineyard, and they help us in the cellar with the tasting, especially with the tasting with the public. They are very good with people. So yes, of course, we hope they will get the witness, how do you say, the testimony, get the future in their hands. When I decided to work in my winery, I didn't have any pressure from my father and my mother, and I was very grateful for this because it was my decision. I decided with my heart to go back to the family. So I'm doing the same. I don't want to push anybody. I think people need to be free to decide what they want to do in their life. But I have a very good impression and hope for this.
Thank you very much, Paola, for your time and for explaining so much about your history, your wine, your philosophy. I'm asking the audience if anyone has any question. I could ask it to Paola. Feel free to write it on the little room chat. For me, I have really enjoyed a lot this time with you, and I have read a lot before in order to prepare this interview, but you went much more far to give us insights of how do you work, and it was fantastic to listen to you. Thank you, Paola. Grazie mille.
Grazie, Fanny, and thank you, everybody, for listening to me.
So we wish you a good vintage, and now I guess everything will be everything is in the cellar, right?
Yes, everything. Yeah.
So now a big part is made, but still fermentation and aging, it's another second big part. So I wish you all the best for this vintage that we will be very happy to taste in a few months or years.
Thank you so much. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to tell my history.
You're very welcome. Alla prossima, forse in Santa Agata.
Bene.
Hi everyone. No, don't close it yet. We're still here. So yes, if you have any questions, so feel free. You can raise your hand and then let me know if you have any questions. So I think right now Stevie is still busy talking to Manuela at the moment. I'm sorry that she cannot join the meeting today and close the room. But just don't forget that we have our upcoming Clubhouse Ambassadors Corner next week. So look out for our social media channels on Italian Wine Podcast and then see what's upcoming for the next Clubhouse. But definitely there are going to be 2 Ambassadors Corner for the next week on Tuesday and on Thursday. So thank you. Thank you so much, Fanny, for introducing Paola with us. Thank you, Paola, for your time. And it's been a pleasure to listen to your interview. So this podcast will be recorded and we'll put it up on Italian Wine Podcast. Okay, that's it. Thanks a lot. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye, Laika. Goodbye, Paola. Goodbye,
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Once again, here we go. Swirl, sniff, sip, spit.
Listen to the Italian Wine Podcast wherever you get your podcasts. We're on SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Himalaya FM, and more. Don't forget to subscribe and rate the show. If you enjoy listening, please consider donating through ItalianWinePodcast.com. Any amount helps cover equipment, production, and publication costs. Until next time, cin cin.